So here's the completed board. We've got the display at the moment, which is just cycling round the data from the GPS unit. The GPS unit is obviously sitting there and talks to the main processor board, which you can see running here at the moment, which is the Lowlin32 or the ESP32 board. As the GPS unit is fed from RS232 protocol, so that goes to a serial port on the ESP. The SDA card is directly by the SDA port that's on the ESP, and the other chips are effectively being fed from I2C. So the accelerometer on the right hand side here, and there is some EEPROM on just underneath the SD card there, which we're using to store some settings in, and that's essentially it. The real-time clock is actually underneath the GPS unit, so we can't actually, it's not visible here, but you can see it on the circuit diagrams or the PCB layout. And there's a 3.3 volt regulator, which is being fed from the, in this instance, is coming from the USB, obviously in. GPS card, that's got its own aerial. At the moment it's just laying down, but it's which is why actually it's not actually picking up some of the information. It's managing to get the date and the time, but it's possibly not getting the Latin long, as it says here, is unavailable because it hasn't managed to get a satellite fixed as such. It tells you the number of satellites it's found, which is obviously shown 0 at the moment. So the altitude obviously is not available either, because it can't get a fix yet off the satellites. But if we put this nearer to a window, then it will start to pick up the relevant data. So if we look at the accelerometer, if I give the board a bit of a bash, you can see that. You can see what happens. So the sequence is really to cycle around collecting data from the GPS unit, and then should I give it a nasty shock, it will write the data to the SD card. It writes two files. One is what we call the raw data from the accelerometer, and the other one is the computed values of the accelerometer in terms of X, Y and Z. So we can talk about those in a minute, but that's essentially the setup. Not much more to add about this. That's about it really.